the 7-yard line.
At their own 7-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
At the 7-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
3 bud. Right there.
From the gun, it's Griffin. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
No gain on this defense, no gain. Hustle. Check right. Watching the 5. Check.
Griffin. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Mike's 54.
Out of the gun, Griffin. And that is incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Winston. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Green, 17. 51 Mike, boy, 51. Hey, let's go.
From the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Barry on the punt as he gets this one away. Now Brown. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
First and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Joker. Chance. Any weapon. 36. Check. What? Go.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Hey, one set. Check Mike, 54. 54. You can't block me.
On third down, Griffin. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got themselves a 7-0 lead here, but that, you recall, was a defensive touchdown, so still nothing as of yet for this offense.
Well, they're happy to have the lead. We got to cut them a little bit of slack. It's still early enough, just a couple of drives so far, but if this one goes nowhere, those adjustments that we talk about, they shouldn't wait for halftime. They should go ahead and start working on them right now.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
He's coming, double up.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now Winston. He'll get that one complete to Connor. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6. Winston. Pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
All day, every day, any day. Hey, I want to kick it.
Third and long for Winston. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 down at the 31. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. To throw, Winston. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Winston now. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
All right, Captain. It's batting down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Winston. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Griffin. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Operating from the gun, Griffin. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
You're going to see me in your nightmare. That's it.
To throw is RG3. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Well, earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Griffin. And that will be incomplete. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Ready. Flag. Put it on. Tight and right. Tight and right. Four down. Four down. Green, cover three.
Looking to throw again on second down. Winston. Johnson's got it complete. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Even. Easy.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out?
They're all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn it.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through. end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, Winston. He gets this one to Johnson. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Ready? Black 25. Here we go, D. Get off the field. Easy.
They'll run on first down. It's Connor, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Winston now from the 50. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
And the Steelers first down.
51. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Let me know what you got. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
On 1st and 10, Winston. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. They'll throw again. Winston. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations. But a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A first down throw for Winston. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To the air again with Winston. That's complete to his running back, Connor. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 17-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Jameis now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's Winston.
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Matt Judon able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And now this throw complete to Washington. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
To throw is Winston. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. Just a yard, but that's all they needed. And by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. They'll run here with Connor. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Griffin. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check. Crunch. Crunch.
From the shotgun, Griffin. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This is taken at the 23. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st down, Connor. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Baltimore. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Hey, easy. They're not ready for this, man. Wait. Still playing soft.
Jameis to throw it. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Back.
They begin the drive with Hill. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bud Dupree make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, Griffin. He's going deep for Brown. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Sam Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is fielded at the 27. So a change of possession here on the punt.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
First down, Pittsburgh.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Now Griffin. His throw incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Ravens on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Throwing is McSorley. Over the middle, complete. That's Lamb. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Let's go. 10 Lobo. Check right 54. Right 54. Coming to you. Coming to you. Get ready.
Here's McSorley on 1st and 10. He uncorks it for Snead. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
2nd and 10, it's McSorley. And an alley to run. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hey, orbit. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. On the move to his left. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Throwing again on 2nd down. McSorley. This one complete to Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Bravo.
McSorley from the shotgun. That one complete to Hill. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Check right 54. Right 54. Watch the flood. Watch the flood.
back to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Bud Dupree in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. McSorley sets to pass. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, wahoo!
Here's McSorley now, 3rd and long. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They're going on 4th down. It's Griffin. And this is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A run with counter on 1st down, going to get about 5. 2nd and 5 coming up. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Good gain there on 1st down. That keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Everyone's got 4 down.
And they take a knee.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
Ready, blue ready.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the 2nd half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a 2nd half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Steelers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.